Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the technical trader at TheTechTrader.com. It's Thursday night, the 8th of December. Another good day on Wall Street, at least in the morning. Take a look at the charts. You can see we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave by midday, but not as impressive on the Nasdaq 100 as it was on the S&P, which went 1, 2, and then a ascending wedge when it broke out, popping, wedging, and going again. Basically, also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move. In the afternoon, it came down in a three-wave corrective and then rallied back at the close. It looked like a head and shoulders on the Nasdaq 100 as it broke down, but the secondary support did hold near 48, 42 or 3 range, and then we rallied about 5 or 6 points. About 15 points, and the S&P rallied about 5 points from the 22.42.5 area to 22.47 before pulling back a little bit. Net, it was a positive day. You can see the long-term patterns, the longer-term pattern, show multiple tops up in here. There's resistance at 49, 49.10. So we have not confirmed by any means the breakout to new highs on the the Dow and S&P in the tech stocks, which having a bit of a struggle lately. A really nice pattern here on the S&P 500. Let's expand a little bit. Excuse me, from the low at the end of October, just after we ripped post-election wise right here, and have run from under 2100 to over 2250, a massive 150 point run up is very, very big for the S&P. I'm sorry, not 150 points, more like 150 points. That's a huge move, much better than from a percentage standpoint than with the Nasdaq 100, which ran up from, let's see, from 47.20 to about 48.70. About 150 points as well, but a bigger percentage on double that on the S&P. If you take a look at the way it will move, the S&P went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think at this point we're a little extended. The momentum's still very strong, and as you can see by today's action, has not broken down yet. Let's go to the charts because some of our stocks are just acting great. Swing trade AMD, just fantastic. Obviously, when you see a stock that's been in a big base and has this major breakaway gap on huge volume and then wedges, an ensuing move like that occurs. Now, big volume down move in September held the breakout point, coiled for a couple months. That's when it broke out and we gave it another swing on it. And then flagged and it's moving. It almost looks like this stock is going right to 13, folks, and eventually 15 or more. Little AXTI. Now, I'm starting to think that stocks like AXTI, KOPN, and a few others, juniors in a semiconductor group, now that the majors, NVIDIA, AMAT, and a few others have run substantially, Xilinx, etc., we may start to see the secondary stocks make a move here. Now, the pattern on AXTI shows a big base, breakout, wedge, breakout, another falling three-wave corrective wedge near the 50. If you look at the daily chart today, late in the session, it popped from 456 to 495, closed the dime off the high, but up about 4.5%. Right at the declining tops line. The last time it got through here, you see that move it had? I'm not saying it's going to duplicate that, but if this is wave 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we get a big fifth wave, I wouldn't rule out 7.5, 8, 8.5, something like that. So this could be a big percent gainer for us. Let's keep an eye on it. Sienna with a big pop today. Broke out across key resistance and exploded for 15% on 15 million. You can see how the stock closed at the upper end of the range and at the high. I would think there's a good shot. We're going to test 26.5 in the next day or two, maybe tomorrow. Oil stock CVI exploding here, and you can see the move it had this week. Phenomenal, just phenomenal. It's basically gone from about 16 to 25, and today with big volume of 3.1 million, the biggest I've ever seen on it. Probably getting up to a range where I don't think it's got too much left on it, and so we may need to get a pullback retest, especially because this looks like a 1, 2, 3. We may need wave 4 in here. Casella Waste, one of my top 25, is just really doing well. On the long-term chart, going back over the last couple of years, you'll see it's come from basically 3.25 or half area up to 13. Now, recently, the channel has been narrowing, and it's been really channeling up. Today, it jumped another 50 cents or 4%, but the key is it's at the top of the channel. If it should push through, our target's at 14.5 and then 16. Big day for Finisar, not only in the session, but after hours. You You can see that the stock popped about $1.89 or nearly 6%. After hours, here's what you got. A big pop on earnings, it pulled back and then came right back up again to get up to that 36.40 range. So, net, it's up another $2.25 on top of the $1.89. It was up about 4 points net today. This swing trade with targets of 35 and 39 hit the $35 here. And now maybe headed to 39, my next target. 5.2 days to cover. KM's doing great. The swing trade just mojoing. In the last 4 sessions, or 5 in a row, has gone from 541 to 6 3/4. There's some resistance just where today's high was, about 6 3/4. But I'm thinking this stock extends towards 8. That's my next target. There's nearly 10 days to cover. This stock has generated huge volume on the upside. Little KLPN is the other semiconductor stock I want to show you. After coming down in a big declining channel, you can see that it broke out. Now, the breakout came with some decent volume, and then it pulled back in a nice flag on lower volume, only to start to act up again with good volume. Today it was up another almost 5%. This volume picked up, and this stock looks to me like it's headed for 3 1/4 immediately, maybe even as high as 330.40, eventually getting up towards what I consider potentially up 3 3/4, 4, and down the road 4 3/4, 5. LITE had a big day, breaking out of a big wedge pattern as the stock popped and closed near the upper end of the range, 390 or almost 10% on 2.1 million. That's one of the biggest volumes we've seen in 5 weeks. So I'm looking for this stock to make it up towards the top of the channel. My secondary target is 55. My near-term target is like 49. LXU swing trades moving. Popped today about 10%. Nearly a million traded. Looks like it's headed higher. This is the highest close we've had since here. And if we can get this up through resistance, which comes in right about 970, just above here, stock could very well be a $12 stock. Stay tuned. It could be interesting. 9 days to cover on the short side. Nano popped out of a wedge today. I like this chart. I like the company. I just wish there was more volume. Nevertheless, it looks like it's headed for 28. Nektar. Now this is a stock I really liked in here. As you know, we had a swing on it. Got up near 20 and then collapsed with the biotech. It did have a decent rebound, but it retested the lows just recently. Now today it was moving nicely at the end of the day, breaking out of a flag and closing near the upper end of the range on big volume, so I put a swing out on it. I do believe that this stock is going to make it back to at least the 14 and a half zone, and then I'm looking for 16 or more. PEIX. Well, you can see that this inverse head and shoulder here, and then the breakout had me interested in a swing when it was trading around 5.5, but I never put it on because it broke support there, only to come right back again, and then it broke support here, only to come back again. So the stock has a habit of doing that. But nevertheless, even with these 2 pullbacks and sharp ones, it held the trend line, and of late it's gone vertical, literally from 575 to today's high just under 10, almost doubling in about 3 weeks. The 4 days to cover, I'm a believer you're going to see close to 11 on this, and then 13 and a half. POT, the big base that's been built on some of these agri stocks seems to me that's getting these stocks are ready to go. Only up a fraction, a little under 2%, but it's coming right up against the resistance that comes in around 1938 from the spike high in March. But that completes the base if it gets through there, and then I'll be looking for 21, 22 and a half, and much more. Taylor Brands came out of a base and how today with a major breakaway gap, volume of 12.5 million, and a really terrific report as the 13 days to cover panicked to shorts. At this point, I'm looking for a move to about 31.2, which would be a move into the mid channel, right through there, and then eventually 38. So I may put a swing on this tomorrow if I get a little pullback. I like the way it looks. TSM swing is working. As you know, I put a swing on it a couple days ago. It's acting well. It wants to go to 21 and 24 in my opinion. 4 days to cover short. Very strong mojo. It's in the right group, semiconductors. And swing UIS keeps on giving. It got up to 1635 today. We put it out originally when it broke out in here. It looks great for a potential move towards 19. 10 days to cover. And swing trade XPO is doing great. The inverse head and shoulders a breakout and the consolidation in this zone here. And then the breakout recently has caused a big run up. The stock is going to probably test a 50, 50 and a half range short term. And should it get through that, it wouldn't shock me to see this make it up towards the low 60s. Great looking pattern. 10 days to cover short. They're being squeezed. Zeltique, great looking chart, broke out here, pulled back there, created a large rising channel. We have wave 1 and 2, we have 3 and 4, wave 5 well underway. Could lead or should lead up towards the 52.3 range short term. There's 10 days to cover in this one as well. And swing trade zoomies acting well, popped out of a flag today, jumping 4%. Looks to me like 28, 28 and a half, maybe 29. Even as high as 30 are possibilities going forward. This one has 12 days to cover. And lastly, Zion, which has been rather choppy, but you can see steadily rising. At this point, I'm expecting the stock to make a run to 18. Especially if we can get it up past this little spike high we had recently, 1690. There's 6.4 days to cover on that one. And that's going to be it for tonight, everybody. Have a good weekend. And let's make some more money trading tomorrow, Friday, DGIF, everyone. Good night, tech traders.